Good morning. The sun is rising. It is it is 4:45 in the morning, I think, and a little bit earlier than yesterday. But I am so tired. Right now, I'm debating whether I should walk on the little uh, graveled road or if I should walk here. I think I'll walk here. Um, Today, I actually want to continue talking about um, change. When we do change, and why it's hard sometimes to change. And when you go through change, you need to ask yourself a lot of questions. Because I think many of you will recognize yourself in this, that you know you want to change and you start. And then after a few weeks, you fall back into old patterns. Sometimes it's too painful to change. Yesterday we were talking about the resistance. There can be resistance from outside when we change. There can be resistance within yourself when you try to change. And with that resistance is sort of the next question you could ask yourself and should ask yourself. Because every time we change something with ourselves, or if we change a behavior, if we change in that resistance, the question is also what would I lose if I change? And where's the sun? Just want to look at it a little bit, because that's also what it's about. We also have something to lose, and you need to ask yourself, what would I lose if I change? And one thing I could lose if I start changing a behavior is that, this the reason why I'm hesitating is because I'm trying to modulate the sentence so it shouldn't be offending. But you know what? Fuck that. It is part of the truth. And I said I was going to speak the truth. And, sometimes we actually like to feel sorry for ourselves. We like to have our little pity party. If I decide to change, I no longer can blame it on anyone else, because I'm taking responsibility for my own life. And then I only have myself to blame, to keep it short and explain it short. But that's just it. I sometimes have moments where I have a little pity party, and I feel sorry for myself. And you know what? It's like the same thing as I was saying about fear. When fear kicks in and tries to oversound or overvoice my heart, my mind, my brain, my all, I now have tools to snap out of it, which is I'm welcoming it. I'm giving it its space for a specific little time, and I sit down and let it have its voice. And sometimes I don't write it down like I told you yesterday. Sometimes I just sit there and I just let fear chatter away until I say, stop, thank you. That was your opinion, your voice. I'm going to let love take over now and say its piece. And it's the same thing with a pity party. You know, you can give it a little time, maybe half an hour, max an hour, maximal an hour. And just feel fucking sorry for yourself. And then you snap out of it. And you have your tools to snap out of it. And yes, good morning. Good morning. But you need to ask yourself these questions. They can be hard to ask yourself, and it's and all. God, I can't talk this morning. And it's the same here. You need to be raw, open, and naked, and daring to see the truth. You need to dare ask yourself these tough questions, because they are the part of the change. Because you need to know what is holding you back. And that is one piece that will always hold you back if you don't know it, if you don't see it, if you don't understand it. What do I gain from not changing? And what will I lose if I do change? Maybe it's the relationship you have to people. Maybe it is, well, I'm going to take myself for an example right now. We are trying, no, I should not say that because that's not the truth. We've not been trying to lose weight. If we're going to be all honest, we want to change. We want to lose weight. But this is a discussion we have at home. And I've been frustrated with myself. I've been frustrated with my husband. But it's the fucking truth. If we really wanted to change, we would have already changed our habits, changed the negative pattern that we have at home. We slowly have started now, but there are things holding us back. And, you know, so we need to ask ourselves these questions. What do I gain from not changing? Well, what I'm gaining is that I can be irresponsible with my body. And when I feel sad or when I feel, emotions that are tough, I can eat. I can just eat a lot and give myself the right to eat, give myself the right to overeat or eat unhealthy food. And then have a pity party and feeling all bad and punishing myself, you know, because sometimes, oh man, oh, here comes the police in the morning. But there are two young guys too, and I'm going to go further down before I take a dip. Yeah, I don't really feel comfortable sometimes. Yeah. Oh no, I can't even go there because they're going to see me. All right, I'm going to have to go to another. But anyway. What I'm gaining to stay in this bad behavior is that I can give myself permission to to not be responsible. And it also gave me permission to punishing myself. And so I let the ego be in charge of my life. And the ego, I'm gonna have a soul talk about the ego another time, but this is how I see ego. And I'm not saying it's like being egoistic, but it's part of it. It's part of the ego. But the ego is, to ease explain it, the little voice that are telling you all the negative things about yourself. The ego doesn't want you to succeed. The ego doesn't want you to be healthy. The ego doesn't want you to be happy. The ego doesn't want you to live a good life. The ego doesn't want you to change. So I'm letting ego drive the car. So that's what I'm gaining from not changing, is to not take responsibility for my life. But so you need to ask yourself these questions. What do I gain from not changing? What would I lose if I do change? And you don't necessarily need to just focus on the negative stuff. You can also focus on the positives. So what would I... No. I'm sorry. Wrong. That was wrong. I'm so tired. Well, it is actually true. There are positive things, but do they overweight? Do they matter so much from the change that would heal your heart? What I was going to say was, then you need to ask yourself, what would I gain if I change? What would I gain if I changed my behavior? Well, my body would be more healthy. I would feel more healthy. I know for sure that we would do more things, not avoid things. Sometimes we avoid things because of our weight. Yeah. And the biggest and most important part is that I gain freedom. Because when you take responsibility for your life, you gain freedom. Because you choose. You choose your life. And you choose your feelings. You choose your... you choose. Period. And that is freedom. And so that is something that is part of the whole changing. You have all the noise, the resistance, but you also need to ask yourself, is there something that I'm gaining from not changing? And I would say, in most parts, it absolutely is. That you don't... It's easy to be the victim of life, so to speak, to not take responsibility for your life. It is so easy to get stuck in the pity lake, or being stuck in pity and feeling sorry for yourself and blaming everything on everybody else. It's so easy to do that. But the truth is, it's your choice It's your life, and it's your own fault when you decide to not be responsible for your life. And these are some of the hard truths and questions. And we need to ask them because we need to see them and understand what's holding us back in order to change. So I'm going to leave you with that. This one is a really short one. I'm going to find somewhere where I can take a dip. I don't really know where, because I really don't want to walk up there because no one can see me there. Well, I mean, I don't want people to see me naked, but I feel a little bit uncomfortable being hidden also. Everything's going to be fine. Well, good morning, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Write what comes up. Write down below if you want what comes up in your heart when you've been listening to this. If you want, challenge yourself and ask yourself, what do I gain from not changing? What would I lose if I change? Right? What's holding you back? And that's a freedom too. Telling someone, being honest, write it down. When you see it, then it becomes so clear. And then it also gets so much easier to actually change the behavior. And so, yeah, I would, if you don't want to write it down here, take a piece of paper at home and just write it down. What is holding me back? What do I gain from not changing? And see what comes up. And challenge it. Turn it around and see what do I need to do to actually challenge this, you know? So good luck with that. And I'll see you here tomorrow again. And lots of love, kisses and hugs. Bye-bye.